The Recovery Kernel. Transplantation Series. The Transplant. Redirecting the cult-like factor. Same engine. Same devotion. Same supply chain. Different address. Section 1, the cult-like factor. Classical building the Centurian, this was never about a substance. It was about what the substance required of you. Every substance use disorder has a substrate, a behavioral, psychological, and social infrastructure that formed around the substance and sustained it. The substance was the product. The substrate was the system. And the system, stripped of its specific product, is a remarkable piece of human engineering. Call it the cult-like factor. Every serious substance habit shares the structural features of a religious cult, a central organizing devotion, a community of fellow practitioners, an initiation process, specialized knowledge, daily ritual, a specific financial relationship with a supplier, a vocabulary that distinguishes insiders from outsiders, and an identity built around participation in the practice. The standard recovery model tries to dismantle the system. This guide argues something different: the system is too valuable to dismantle. It is the most powerful behavioral engine the person has ever operated. Trying to destroy it is trying to destroy the most capable part of them. The correct move is transplantation, moving the roots from toxic substrate to fertile ground. 1.1 What the cult-like factor actually contains. Classical building the Centurian, the compendium names it as the C28 principle: the Olympian of nothing becomes an Olympian of something real. Same engine. Different address. This guide is the navigation to the different address. Transplantation 01. The Garden. The Garden, Home Depot is the new corner. Classical building the Centurian, the garden section at Home Depot is the most honest drug store in the world. Walk into the garden section of any home improvement store and look at it differently for a moment. The person behind the nursery counter knows their product deeply: cultivars, growth rates, soil requirements, companion plants, what thrives in your specific climate, what the common pests are and how to manage them. They will talk with you as long as you want to talk. They want you to succeed. The seeds in the rack are potential. Each one is a compressed, dormant expression of something that will need your specific attention, your water, your soil, your light management, your protection, to become what it is capable of being. The seed does not grow without the grower. The grower does not grow without the seed. The relationship is mutual. The money you spend at the nursery, on soil, on tools, on amendments, this is the same financial flow that went to the dealer. The same amount. The same regularity. But the thing you bring home grows. The thing you brought home from the dealer was consumed and was gone. The plant is still there tomorrow. It is larger tomorrow. 2.1 The exact transplantation map. The dealer, the nursery/seed company. The specialized supplier with deep product knowledge who wants you to come back. Who has specific product in different qualities and quantities. Whose relationship with you is consistent and ongoing. The garden center adds something the dealer never had: full transparency, business hours, and a loyalty program. The substance, the seed. Something small, dense with potential, that requires your specific attention to express what it is capable of. The substance was consumed. The seed grows. The distinction: one depletes what you invest in it. The other multiplies it. The high, the harvest. The specific reward of the practice. With the substance, the onset of effect, the peak, the predictable pharmacological reward. With the garden, the first sprout, the first flower, the first fruit, the harvest weight, the meal you cook from what you grew. The reward is real, earned, and belongs entirely to you. The daily ritual: watering/checking/tending. The substance had its own schedule, its own requirement of daily attention and maintenance. The garden has the same. Plants require daily checking: moisture levels, pest pressure, growth rate, light quality. The person who woke up every morning thinking about the substance can wake up every morning thinking about whether the tomatoes need water. Same brain. Different beneficiary. The knowledge base horticulture. The person who used seriously accumulated pharmacological knowledge, absorption rates, receptor pharmacology, interaction effects, potentiation strategies, harm reduction practices. This knowledge base transplants directly into botany, soil science, plant nutrition, and cultivation. The learning curve is similar. The community that rewards the knowledge is similar. And the knowledge is genuinely fascinating: plant biology, mycorrhizal networks, companion planting ecology, in ways that deepen rather than narrow understanding of the world. 2.2 The specific transplantation for common substance backgrounds. 2.3 The exotic factor. J.R. Tolkien's specific insight deserves its own section: the tendency to grow scary things, the exotic, the unusual, the things that require special knowledge to obtain and manage. This tendency does not disappear with the substance. It is a feature of the person, not the substance. And it is a magnificent feature. Redirected: carnivorous plants, Venus flytraps, pitcher plants, sundews, plants that evolved in nutrient-poor environments and solved the problem by eating insects. They require distilled water, specific soil chemistry, precise light. The knowledge investment is real and the result is genuinely extraordinary. Orchids. Bonsai. Rare heirloom vegetables from seed banks. Tropical plants grown outside their native climate. Aquatic plants in specialized aquaria. The person who grew exotic things in the substance context, who sought out the unusual strain, the rare compound, the specific combination nobody else knew about, has a perfectly calibrated interest for exotic horticulture. The specialized knowledge is there. The obsessive attention is there. The community of fellow practitioners with similar devotion is there. The objects are legal, visible, shareable, and alive. Transplantation 02. The animal. The animal, the dependency that runs in the right direction. Classical building: the Centurian. In the substance relationship, you were dependent. In the animal relationship, the dependency runs the other way. This is the most elegant single inversion available in the transplantation framework. The substance relationship was structured around your dependency: you needed it, it did not need you, and the asymmetry ran entirely in one direction. The animal relationship inverts this exactly: the animal needs you, you are not dependent on it in the same biochemical sense, and the asymmetry now runs in the direction that produces growth rather than depletion. And yet the behavioral infrastructure is the same. The pet store is the dealer. The cat food and litter, the dog food and vet bills, the fish tank supplies, this is the supply chain. The daily feeding, the morning walk, the cleaning, the health monitoring, this is the daily ritual. The knowledge of breeds, nutrition, training techniques, behavioral signals, this is the specialized knowledge. The dog park, the aquarist forum, the cat breed community, this is the community. 3.1 The inverted dependency model. 3.2 The supply chain transplant. The dealer: the pet store. The regular supplier relationship, the store you know, the staff who recognize you, the consistent purchase, the expertise you can tap about product quality. The pet store has one significant improvement over the dealer: it is open during normal hours, it has return policies, and it is genuinely invested in whether the animal you bought there thrives. The substance purchase: the food, the litter, the supplies. The regular expenditure that maintains the practice. Cat litter every 2 weeks. Dog food every month. Aquarium water conditioner, fish food, filter media. The supply chain is real, ongoing, and supports a living thing. The money still flows toward a product that makes a specific experience possible. The product is now a fed, healthy, cared-for animal. A living expression of investment rather than a consumed expression of it. Checking the supply: monitoring the animal. The morning check that the supply was adequate. Now, the morning check that the animal is well. Is the dog eating? Is the cat's coat healthy? Are the fish showing normal behavior? The monitoring behavior is identical in structure. The object of concern is now a living, responsive being whose well-being is visible and improvable. 3.3 Matching the animal to the pattern. 3.4 The aquarium, specific study. The aquarium deserves its own section because it is among the most complete transplantations available, and it is almost never discussed in recovery contexts despite being one of the best documented animal therapy interventions in institutional settings. Section 4 Additional transplantation targets. Classical building the Centurian, the cult-like factor is not limited to 2 destinations. Find the one that fits the specific engine. Section 5 The financial transplantation. Classical building the Centurian, the money was already flowing. The only question is where it goes next. This section is brief and practical. The financial flow that was going toward the substance does not simply disappear, it redirects. The person who was spending $200 per week on substances has $200 per week available for the transplant. This is not new money. It is the same money redirected. The financial flip is one of the most motivating elements of the transplantation. The money that was being consumed now produces something. In gardening, this eventually reduces the food budget, you grow your own food. In brewing, it produces more product at lower cost than purchasing. In animal care, the expenditure is ongoing, but the return, the animal's health, the relationship, the oxytocin, the purpose, is real and growing rather than real and depleting. Section 6, The Starter Protocol. Classical building the Centurian, do not plan it perfectly. Plant something today. The transplantation does not require a perfect plan. It requires a first step that is small enough to do today and specific enough to be genuinely engaging rather than generically virtuous. Exercise more is not a transplantation. Plant these 3 seeds in this pot on this windowsill today is. 6.1 The minimum viable transplant. 6.2 The community entry. Every transplantation target has a community. Enter it deliberately, early, and as a learner rather than as an expert, even if the knowledge base from the substance context gives you more understanding than a beginner normally has. Reddit communities, r/gardening, r/homebrewing, r/mycology, r/aquariums, r/beekeeping, r/dogs, r/fermentation. The communities are large, knowledge generous, and specifically welcoming to beginners with genuine curiosity. Local clubs, the Master Gardener program in your county, the Homebrew Club at the local shop, the Beekeeping Association, the Aquarist Society, the Dog Training Club. In-person communities provide the social infrastructure that the substance community provided, but the events are in daylight, sober, and centered on a practice that produces rather than depletes. The nursery/pet store staff, the same relationship you had with the dealer, specific, ongoing, knowledgeable, is available in every good garden center and pet store. These people are professionally invested in whether the thing you bought from them thrives. Ask them everything. The transplantation, closing. Classical building the Centurian, the addiction was never the only thing this engine could power. It was just the address it found first. The cult-like factor, the devotion, the specialized knowledge, the daily ritual, the supply chain management, the community of fellow practitioners, the identity built around the practice, is not a disease. It is a capacity. A remarkable, specific, powerful capacity that the substance was the first to successfully recruit. The gardener at the Home Depot garden section is the most honest expression of this capacity available. They know their product. They tend their practice with the same obsessive attention the substance demanded. Their supply chain is regular, specific, and serves a living thing. Their community is knowledgeable and generous. Their harvest is visible, real, and belongs entirely to them. The dealer becomes the garden center. The daily dose becomes the morning watering. The hit becomes the harvest. The supply chain becomes the seed order. The community becomes the grower's forum. The identity becomes the person whose garden grows. The animal keeper is the same. The dealer becomes the pet store. The maintenance cost becomes the food and the litter and the vet bill. The dependency inverts, now something needs you. The daily ritual is the walk, the feeding, the training session, the grooming. The hit is the greeting at the door, the purring on the lap, the specific recognition that only comes from a creature that has been cared for and knows it. The same money. The same time. The same obsessive attention. The same specialized knowledge. The same community. The same identity structure. Different substrate. Different direction. Different outcome. Plant something today. Feed something today. The cult-like factor is still there. Give it better soil. Recovery Kernel. The Transplant Crisis, 988 SAMHSA, 1-800-662-4357. Read with, Amends to Self. The Chrysalis. The Full Inventory. The Stay Non-Addicted Guide. Same engine. Different address. Plant something today.